Hey guys, Aaron here, back with another video of the racing lawnmower. Today I might actually be able to get a video up of me working on it, so hopefully that's going to happen. I didn't get any of the parts made at work because, well, yes, I was feeling quite off and sick, so I didn't bother hanging around. I thought, no, stuff it, I'm going to go home and enjoy the nice cooler weather in the Arvo. But anyway, because, well, if you know anything about Australian weather, it's been pretty freaking hot here lately, so it's been quite hard to do anything at all of late. But anyway, sorry, excuse the jitteriness. I'm recording with my phone at this point in time because I don't have a decent camera as of yet. Don't really have the money for that. But engine is, as you can see, I flipped the mount over like I was going to. It's not quite going to be finished in that position, but that's roundabout where it's going to be. It's nice and solid. It's very solid actually, which is great. I've got the wiring sorted now. I know what I'm doing with the wiring in the end run, which is good. And yeah, that's where we're at so far. But today, as you can see by the grinder, what I'm going to be doing is we are going to notch the front swing arm down here with a V and then pull that end up on both sides, and that's going to lower the front stance of the lawnmower and hopefully give me a little bit better handling too, because it will camber the front wheels quite dramatically. I could go for a 2 or 3 degree change, which will or straight away change the steering angle and automatically change how well it steers, but let's be honest, I'm just going to go stupid. Why not? Let's go 5 or 6 degrees quite easily. Just as you can see by the little mark up just there. Sorry, low battery power. Got the mark here and the mark here. That's pretty much the line I'm going to be following. I'm going to cut that much out and then that end's going to come up. So it's, you cut all the way through down to about there. Don't cut all the way through. And cut up on a V and take that section out altogether, and that gives you lower stance. 1, 2, 3. Hey guys, Aaron back again. You'll notice that the camera has changed. I'm pointing at a different place and I've moved everything. I have the issue of crappy traffic, which is annoying. So I'm going to go with this instead. Hopefully the noises aren't too bad. Right now, you'll see where I'm placed at this point in time. I do have everything hooked up, everything ready to go. I haven't marked anything at this point, but yes, it's time to mark everything and get ready to start cutting. So you have to support the front end, purely because when I make the V cuts in there, I don't want the front end to fold up all of a sudden. So jack is necessary at this point, crappy jack nonetheless. But we're going to go for a maximum angle. Got to match either side, so I'm going to go with that. Which is, okay, 1, 2, so 20 mil. 20 mil V cut. Why is everything to make noise? So just like that. Go down to there. And down to there. I'm hopefully going to get the bonnet mounted today and going to have to cut a fairly decent sized hole because the bonnet comes going down to about here, so there's going to be a hole for where the muffler protrudes through and down at an angle, as well as the carby on the back end. But I'm going to have to cut a hole that size in the actual engine. Sorry, in the bonnet, hood, whatever you want to call it. So let's get to cutting. This won't be precise. I don't care. It's a racing lawnmower. I mean, gives a personal shit about being precise. It's going to take me a long time either way, so. I do apologise if you can't hear me very well. I don't have the mic. So, for me, recording, not the easiest thing. Is that a mic? There's other ways of lowering the front end of these. I'm just going to go with this, because why not? That's the easiest way, I guess. Bolts out. There's the bolts for the hood, bonnet, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to leave this front end on while I cut it, just because I can. Okay. We have grinder, multiple discs. Time to get to cutting. I do apologise, this may be a bit loud. Safety first. Oh, hate when shit slips. Oh my god, really? awesome. Ow. Skin freaking knuckle. Ever seen that before? One down. Never use a shifter. Balls. See, if I was at work, wouldn't be a problem. Hundreds of different tools at work. Wow. Sorry if the angle's bad. How? God, that's hot. What happens when you don't clean the threads first? Bit of PB Blaster, WD-40, anything along those lines, anything. Cleans the threads nicely. How? A state of trance. Okay, that's the steering link's loose. just got them to undo, and that whole front end comes off. It's all notched onto sections so that right now that front end will actually move like it's supposed to. Gonna go to the real tools, King Chrome. Voila. Okay. Back to it again. Recorded it anyway. There you go. That's the front end removal. Now this one, for some reason, has bolts there that held the front end from tilting left to right. I do not know why. That's the key feature with the lawnmower, is they can tilt left to right. Makes no freaking difference at this point. In the end, they were too tight, so obviously it's not going to twist left to right. And as you can see, there's no bloody grease on it anyway, so what's the freaking difference? Anyway, now I've got that off, as you can see. All I'll do is make that cut, do it on the same, on the other side, and same there. Let's get back to it. Cheers, bye-bye. Always good to clean your tools up. Holy crap, that grinder's hot. damn. As you can see, battery's dead. Kind of slides it down, but you can see what I'm going for here. Will be another cut straight down and then cut down at an angle. It's not precise. I really don't give a shit if it's precise or not. So most other people will take this and weld it on there, or flip it upside down altogether and shorten that. I'm not all about that. I'm not sure what happened. I didn't notice that until I got out of the light and I actually put this thing inside. There is actually, as you can see, battery charge, but for some reason when I put it into my crappy Ryobi grinder, which has served me well so far, nothing. Don't want to work. I mean, the battery's fairly warm and the grinder itself is fairly warm, but I doubt that's gonna do anything for it, is it? Couldn't do. Nonetheless, interlude. Okay, so we're back at it again. Apparently my battery wasn't dead, if you can see that. It just decided to give up because it was too hot. Okay, so try to. Let's go again. And yes, as you can see, pants have changed. Got the big boy pants on now. How do you possibly fill that up with dirt? People are stupid. Dude, fucking big. Okay, now the battery's dead. Apparently I can't win. Didn't bring it in last time. As you can see, that's what I'm going for though. V in one side, V in the other side, and then put it on there and stomp on it. Which will bring the ends up. Yeah, I know it. Just stomp on it, but fucking crew. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, gotta fix that. My idea of a straight line has gone from being nice and semi-straight to a bit wonky. Oops. I guess that means charge the battery, and I'll probably have to come back at it tomorrow when it's not night time, because by the time this battery charges, it'll be too late for me to be starting a grinder up. So yeah, at this point for you, it'll just be a few seconds later, but for me, it'll be tomorrow. So okay, so I did what I didn't really want to do, but I took the front end. I think I already mentioned this, but I took in the previous part of the video. But I took the front end to work and stuffed around with it. Got it to work finally. Ignore the cheap ass welds. I'm still learning when it comes to welding, so you know they hold. I beat the crap out of the sledgehammer and it didn't bend. So, but here's a better view now during daylight. That is the angle. It's a bit stupid, but whatever. I wanted stupid anyway, so. And cornering wise, it's not bad. And finally, my new starter motor turned up. As you can see, brand new. But when you sit down and apply the brake, it cranks. So that's awesome. Wiring in that area is good, which means now all I need to do is run the CDI ignition setup, which I'm considering just getting a whole new one because they're like 30 bucks, 40 bucks online. So you got eBay, you can buy just about freaking anything you want on eBay, so why not? The rear axles, I haven't actually got down to doing them yet. I'm halfway through. I've got the rear supports making. I've changed my mind like 4 times now. I had four different designs and just kept changing it, so I thought, well, I've finally come up with a decent design, and yeah, hopefully I can get some pictures into this video of what I've done at least at work, and then I'll add into the video later. God, this is shaky. Here, not much better, but that's going to be going completely. They're gone completely, and the axle's going to run pretty much right there. It's going to be very close, but whatever. But what I've got is basically it's going to be a piece that size, but a hell of a piece not that size, but a hell of a lot thicker, and it's going to run out on an angle, and then it's going to be welded to something which is going to come. I keep doing that. Sorry. Let's try that again. It's going to run. It's going to be something like that, but thicker, a hell of a lot thicker, and it's going to run a gusset out here to about there somewhere. And it's going to weld to a flat piece of steel, 150mm across, so the bearings are spaced evenly on either side. I've done the measurement between the chassis rails, plus the measurement between the bearing spaces, and I've got the right calculation for what length I need between here and the flat surface of the bearing, which is good. So it'll be 150mm on either side with a bit of room for flex, which will be taken out and flex, sorry. And then there'll be a flat plate steel welded to that, which bends down, and then the bearing face is sunk into that and bolted on, and then I'll hold the and that'll hold the rear axle. Then boom, should be more than strong enough. It's 4mm steel, I think. Not sure what that is in Imperial, so for you Americans, Google it. But yeah, that's about it for now. I'm gonna have to end this video at this point because it's taken me 5 days to get enough content for this video, because I just keep stuffing around and getting stuffed around, and I've got a lot of work to do on the electricals anyway, so I can make a new video with all of that involved anyway. So yeah, I'm guessing, I think that'll do for now. That'll have to do for now anyway. I'll maybe make another video, we'll go from there. But anyway, I've been Aaron. Thanks for watching.